In a world obsessed with constant noise, instant replies, and uninterrupted connection, we've forgotten the language that once shaped the greatest minds in human history: silence. Silence is not merely the absence of sound, it is a space for presence, clarity, and understanding. To the modern mind, silence is uncomfortable. We fill every quiet moment with music, scrolling, speaking, afraid that silence might expose the void within us. But to the ancient sages, silence was the path to truth. Lao Tzu, the founder of Taoism, once said, "Silence is a source of great strength. In silence, he found the Tao, the natural order of the universe." To him, speaking too much was a sign of ignorance, not wisdom. The more words we use, the more likely we are to distort truth. This doesn't mean that words have no value. But wisdom doesn't scream, it whispers. And only those who are silent within can hear it. In ancient Greece, Pythagoras required his students to observe a strict vow of silence during their first 5 years of study. Why? Because speech often gets in the way of listening. And without listening, there is no learning. Silence was not a punishment. It was preparation, a refining fire through which thoughts became clearer, ego weaker, and perception sharper. Socrates, too, revered the value of listening over speaking. His method, asking questions and listening intently, wasn't about winning arguments. It was about uncovering truth together. The world remembers his words, but we forget the silences between them, the moments when he paused to listen, reflect, and absorb. The Desert Fathers, early Christian monks who lived in the Egyptian wilderness, built their entire spiritual practice around silence. They believed the voice of God could not be heard through noise and chaos. It emerged only in stillness, like a whisper in the wind. The same belief exists in Sufi, Hindu, and Buddhist traditions. Silence is sacred. It is not empty, it is full of answers. The Buddha's most profound teachings were often conveyed without words. His famous flower sermon was just a silent gesture, holding up a lotus flower. And in that moment of silence, Mahakya Yopa understood what no words could express. Enlightenment isn't explained, it is experienced, often in silence. Fast forward to today. Most of us live in cities where silence is extinct. Our devices buzz, notifications ping, our minds race. We are surrounded by chatter, opinions, broadcasts, yet we feel more lost than ever. Why? Because we've replaced contemplation with reaction, silence with stimulation, thought with noise. But the soul does not speak in noise, it speaks in stillness. And every time we turn off the world and listen, truly listen, we begin to hear ourselves again. We begin to hear the truth again. Even in practical life, silence is powerful. Negotiators use pauses to shift the power dynamic. Leaders use silence to command attention. Writers use silence, the blank space, to make their words breathe. And those who are truly wise know when not to speak. There is a Zen proverb: "Don't speak unless it improves upon the silence." That should be our filter. That should be our practice. Because silence isn't passive. It's not weakness. It's not emptiness. It's power. It's awareness. It's wisdom. Try it. Take 10 minutes each day to do nothing. No phone, no music, no speaking. Just sit, breathe, watch your thoughts without judgment. Let them pass like clouds. And observe what happens. The anxiety begins to loosen. The fog starts to clear. Insights arise that you didn't force. Creativity awakens. The deeper self begins to stir. In those moments, you are touching what the ancient sages revered. You are remembering a language older than any spoken word. You are reconnecting with the timeless wisdom that shaped minds, civilizations, and philosophies. So as the world shouts, learn to whisper. As the world rushes, learn to pause. And as the world gets louder, learn to go inward. Because silence is not the absence of life. It is the very ground from which life gains meaning. Silence, the lost language of the wise, is waiting to be rediscovered. Not in books, not in lectures, but in the still corners of your own existence. Can you hear it?